So, here with Eric Bradshaw. I'll be your host today, Brandon Ross. Welcome to the weekly Paradox Comic Show. Special edition, issue number X. Getting all the hype for what
this
we got
tasty
here.
business.
This tasty business, Hickman's Return to Marvel with House of X. I'll switch it to the first screen here. So, in the show, we'll be going over news, reviews, previews, anything else
all
that's juicy in the comic book industry. We got San Diego Comic-Con wrapping up, so we'll have stuff
lots
to
of
talk
juicy
about
tidbits.
there. And go over some of the books we read.
Yes.
Last week was kind of a small week for some of us, myself especially, but gotta hype up for this week somehow.
Yes.
It's a 5-week month or something like that.
It's one of those special ones where we get a little extra.
Yeah, a little extra, but
Extra
then sometimes one of those weeks might feel a little bit dull,
right,
especially leading up to it. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I'll be in the chat, be able to answer your questions. Just if I'm not responding to you, just keep pestering me with questions, or I'll look through it again after the show's concluded. Try to get back at you. So, all right. So starting off with last week, the only comic I brought with me. I also read the Batman that came out last week, the City of Bane.
Yep.
That whole schmeal.
Yep. That was my big one I read last week too.
Yeah, and I think for longtime readers of the Tom King run, that's got to be such a big payoff of all these.
It was
intertwining stories that have.
I love that it just drops you into it. Like there's no just like moment where all of a sudden something happens and then then the takeover happens. It's just you dropped right in, right into Bane's Gotham, and you're just like, well,
this is what's going on now.
Yeah.
It answers a lot of questions for like people being like, oh, is he in a dream?
Yeah.
You know, the continue. You know,
is it still the nightmares? Or
is it still the nightmares?
Yeah.
Is it still a dream? But no, it's
happening.
Definitely some multiverse action.
Yeah.
And I think that's some of DC's best work is when multiverses get involved.
Pull all the big stuff.
Yeah. Pull all the stops. I read Spider-Man Life Story, the OOs, are we going to call it the Aughts?
The Aughts.
This book, I can see where people get kind of upset with the whole clone stuff in Spider-Man.
Yep.
But I think Chip is doing a really cool job with how he's handling it.
Yep.
Really smart. You know, you don't have to be invested in years and years worth of issues in order to understand this is only the 5th issue, and I get the kind of gist of the whole clone conspiracy.
Right. Yeah, that Zdarsky fella sure knows.
Yeah.
Sure knows how to make it work.
And then one of the big defining moments of the aughts is, well, at the beginning of the decade was 9/11, which is touched on in here, and then towards the end, 2006, 2007, the Marvel kind of version of that they don't talk about Stanford. They talk about Stanford with an N for some reason, but they don't talk about the Stanford incident.
The Civil War.
But they do bring up Civil War and the whole Superhuman Registration Act, and
interesting.
This telling of Peter's involvement with it. We don't get a one day more.
One more day. That's fine.
That's fine. And
it's okay. We don't need it.
But it's still such a great run. As somebody that I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, not a huge fan of webcomics.
Yeah.
This has been my greatest hits album that I can just put on of the best parts of Spidey. The lowest parts too. It's so dark in so many places, and I didn't I should have known that Spider-Man got dark. At times, but I just never really thought of how ruined his life could get.
Right, like how dark could this bright, happy Spider-Man be?
Yeah, this chipper, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
It's the old Parker luck, man.
Just totally destroyed by everything.
Yep. Especially when you condense it. Well, not condense. Well, yeah, I guess condense it over 5 issues. Like seeing the all these big hits that he's taken over this, whatever 50, 60 years that he's existed.
Yeah, just about.
Of just all the hits, slams, and and knockdowns he's had in that time condensed into 5 issues it's a task, but Zdarsky's done well.
Yeah.
That cover's great too.
Yeah.
It looks like
yeah.
you got the American flag. You got him, the classic, like looking like he's in the water trying to hold something up.
Oh, yeah.
The classic Spider-Man,
Yep.
which they also do in the issue, and then the stripes, which also look like the 2 towers.
I didn't put that together, but
Yeah.
that's it's definitely something. Yeah, Spidey holding up.
Because that plays into that
Yeah,
scene.
yep, that
Yeah.
plays into the scene. That's really cool. I
Right.
didn't even really put it together. It just goes to show how great this book is. That's these little things.
New
getting
layers.
pointed out. Yeah, layers.
Like an onion.
Inside of layers. Inside of layers.
Ugh.
We can show our pretty faces again here. Our beards.
The bearded man.
The bearded bros.
The bearded issue.
So San Diego Comic-Con wrapped
Yes.
up last week.
Mm-hmm.
What were some standouts for you?
Standouts for me. Well, I mean, the biggest one is the announcement of Tom King and Mitch Gerads' new book.
Oh, yep.
Which originally they were like the thing was, because I was keeping track on Twitter, and Gerads was like, okay, so we got it from DC. If we do well at the Eisners tonight, we'll let loose what it is, because it's still quite a ways off.
Okay.
Like, it's not till next year sometime. And of course they ended up Tom King ended up winning like 4 or something.
I think it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, because he got for Best Writer.
Yep, Best Writer.
He got for the short story, the Swamp Thing short story.
Yep.
Him and Mitch won for Mr. Miracle. And I think there was one more. Oh, Best Graphic Album Reissue or whatever for The Vision.
Oh, yep.
And then Mitch Gerads took home 2 as well. One for the Mr. Miracle
Mr.
series
Miracle,
with Tom King,
yep.
and one for Artist as well.
Just artists. Okay, yeah.
So they cleaned up. So then they were allowed to announce it, which was a Adam Strange story, titled Strange Adventures, after the old
Okay.
DC series.
Wow, cool.
And it's Tom King, Mitch Gerads, and Doc Shaner. And Doc Shaner is going to be, I don't know what his involvement is with art wise. Because what they shared were 2 covers. One was Doc Shaner's cover, which is all bright, shiny, and like happy, like Adam Strange.
Yep.
And then Mitch Gerads, which is like, looks like a statue that's been graffitied on and stuff, and like kind of like a dark look at it, but he's
Yeah.
doing a similar like pose, like the standard superhero
Yeah,
pose.
super pose.
So I don't know if maybe Shaner's doing like the brighter like scenes in the past, and Gerads is doing the stuff
The
that's
more
happening in
darker,
the
yeah.
current, or I don't know, but that team's a winning team. So that's what I was most excited about.
Yeah, my feed was just filled with the movie announcements.
Yep. Marvel dumped their load.
Yeah, I'm just finally getting into I'm still like 2 phases behind.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, but I'm catching up in my Marvel movie cinematic universe stuff. But the big thing for me was the Thor announcement.
Yep.
That Jane Foster will be Thor,
Yep, Natalie Portman coming back, which we never thought would happen.
and it's
That's good.
yeah.
I was excited watching Jason Aaron's Twitter too after it happened.
Oh my gosh!
He was just
he was getting so
oh,
much
no.
praise, so much kudos,
Well,
and then,
he was himself, just like, oh god, like
they did
it's
it.
happening.
They did it. Like
Yeah.
they've taken something like straight from the comics that I mean I shouldn't say straight from the comics. We still don't know. They
Yeah.
always use some
Yeah.
creative license, but
Yeah,
the whole Jane Foster Thor story was
Yeah.
how many years ago? 3, 4 years ago?
2004, either 14 or 15.
14 or okay, so yeah, it's been
think.
around for
I could
a
be wrong.
while.
But yeah,
Yeah, and then just seeing Twitter's general reaction to it, people that are probably just movie fans being
Yeah.
like, I'm so stoked for this, like,
Yeah.
it'd be so cool to see this Thor, and
Yep.
then I'm hoping that, it leads to sales for Jason Aaron's,
oh yeah. I mean, it
Jane Foster
can only go up, especially like not just for like the normal everyday that doesn't normally come into the comic shop.
Mm-hmm.
But also now all of, like, the back issues and stuff are gonna
back issues.
all the
spiking in
speculators
price,
and
speculators
you know,
making their cash. I got Marvel trading cards.
Yep.
I got a almost complete set of Jane Foster, and I'm
Nice.
gonna hope to snag.
Unload those a little bit.
No, I'm not unloading. I'm hoarding. Keeping
Yeah,
them.
there you go.
Making sure that
It's a
I
true
have the
collector.
full
It's a
collection.
true collector.
So yeah, that's.
I'm not sold on the name for the movie though. Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. You know,
I just.
I guess I'm not too familiar with Jane Foster. I did preview Valkyrie #1, and I
Yeah.
do go over how I'm not familiar with Jane Foster. I
Yeah.
don't exactly know what, but I'm still intrigued and
Right.
interested to go and read those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason Aaron.
They're so good. If
Thor.
there's a run in the past few years, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a high fantasy fan, definitely 100% recommend the entirety of Jason Aaron's Thor run. It's
Just gonna be wrapping up soon.
I know, yeah, because we got
He's still gonna be like having his hand in Asgardian
yeah,
stuff.
because we got King Thor coming up this fall.
Yep.
That's his final.
King Thor will be
Push.
his final thing. And then I think Valkyrie's on with Al Ewing for 6 issues at least.
Yeah, I think it's just to help get him started.
Get it started.
and make sure it's all kind of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
all copacetic.
yeah. But, yeah.
There's a lot of there's Love and Thunder got announced, Eternals.
Mhm.
We had.
Which I'm wondering, you know, what's that even gonna look like?
I know,
You
right? That's a for those who don't know, Eternals was a series done by Jack Kirby at Marvel, and it is just they're like space gods, space immortals.
Yep. Yeah.
And originally they weren't even part of the Marvel universe; they were kind of their own thing. But obviously, you know, kind of gets all
everything kind of bleeds
brought in.
together. Yeah.
and he didn't quite get to do everything he wanted to, I think, with that, which is why then he went and did, when he went to DC, then he was able to kind of flesh out more with the New Gods stuff, which some of you might be more familiar with Darkseid and stuff, and Mr. Miracle and Orion and those Big Barda, those characters.
Which I keep seeing that last page of Mr. Miracle being spread around and being like, you know, with that, even that last page is like, you can see how King and Gerard's just a great duo.
Yeah. And it was it that final, I think on that final page too, he's wearing an Adam Strange shirt.
That's probably why I saw it shared around so much.
He's wearing an Adam Strange shirt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
and
layers.
Layers upon layers. And then we got Eternals. We got, what else did we get? It was Eternals, Black Widow. We got our first look at Taskmaster
in the MCU.
Hopefully
one
he's
of my
not
faves.
like a kind of a throwaway.
I hope he's just as snarky as the comics.
He's so good. If you haven't read Gail Simone's Taskmaster,
or just even Taskmaster, like he's such a big part of the Initiative, Avengers Initiative, and he's so great in that. You know, his little things with, and then he had this kind of crossover with the Thunderbolts. Was he in charge?
Yeah.
He did some stuff with the Thunderbolts, and that's some of the best, like, put Taskmaster on a team of other villains, and he is just a riot.
Well, and that's why, like, with Gail Simone, like, she had brought him in during her Deadpool run.
Oh, okay.
And it was Deadpool, Taskmaster was in there, Domino, and, oh god, what's her name? She dresses like a cowgirl. Is it just cowgirl? I don't remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it was a kind of a big cast, and then Deadpool dies, and then like for a while, in the meantime, Taskmaster gets his own little series that's written by her too, and it's super good too. Check those books out for sure.
All right.
And then Blade. Blade was the other.
Blade, that was the other one where
Ursula Ali.
Finally, like
this Blade, which might not come till Phase 5. So.
Right, and that's that's something that reading the current Avengers run, Jason Aaron's Avengers, has been like.
Now it makes sense why.
Hyping up the Blade.
At first, it's like, why did they put Blade in the Avengers?
Right.
Now we probably know.
And there was also like this vampire war thing. Like,
well, I know,
they
but
needed his help, but that was more like the excuse to get Blade
in
into
there.
the
Yeah.
Avengers.
But meanwhile, Marvel Studios was just like, hey guys, just so you know, kind of want to do a Blade movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, dudes, let's do it.
Let's get him in there.
They, yeah, that was great. And then like they did a bunch of stuff for the TV shows. The Hawkeye trailer borrowed heavily from imagery and the style of the Hawkeye comic book, which was cool. The logos and the colors and everything.
That's Kelly Thompson's run?
No. Fraction.
Fraction. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Fraction, and then went into Jeff Lemire after that.
Did Kelly Thompson write?
I have no idea.
Wait, shoot. I'm starting to get my
getting everything mixed up
in my head. But yeah, and then the other thing with the Marvel Phase 4 or Phase
4.
Okay, yeah, 4.
A lot of TV shows.
A lot of TV shows really pushing that Disney Plus.
Yeah, real hard.
Service.
The one that was cool that got me happy was after the Falcon Bucky.
Yep, Falcon
trailer or whatever, like little segment they did, little part of the panel. Then like I don't know if the lights went out. I think the lights went out, and then the screen came up, and the guy who was Baron Zemo in I think it was Civil War.
Yep. So
was it Civil War?
Not Age of Ultron.
Or was it Age of Ultron? No, it was Civil War because it was after Age of Ultron.
After Age of Ultron.
But I was like, when I saw Civil War, I was like, well, he's kind of a non-villain. Like he's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And stuff happens, and he doesn't even wear his sweet mask.
Yep.
What's going on here? And then here we get this little pre-filmed bit by, I think, Daniel Bruhl or something is his name. That's the actor. And it's him, and he's like, says something to the effect of, oh, it's going to be nice to see you guys again or something, and then he pulls on the mask. And I was like, yes, finally we get Zemo in mask. It's great.
Zemo. Xena.
But that was, I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff that happened at the con, but those were big ones. Those are the big guys. Too much to talk about.
Yeah. We could like make talking about Comic-Con
a whole
show, but we do got comics to go through, and it is the big House of X week.
Yes.
I know that we normally go DC then Marvel, but House of X is going to be towards the bottom of the Marvel books, so hey, why not just kick it off with that? I want everybody to know about this, and I think the earlier that I talk about it in the show, the better.
Yes.
So, House of X, Jonathan Hickman,
Pepe Larraz, and Marte Garcia doing the colors. This is the big hype book. I mean, we got more and more variants here that can't even fit on the screen. Just layer them on top of each other, man.
Yeah, so
this is Cache 1.
Yeah, this is. Oh my gosh, they can't. Okay, there's. Okay,
all right.
There's the end of it. Okay, and
we got the sweet action figure variant.
Magneto, which I blamed him for the internet issues.
Of course, magnetic stuff.
Yeah.
Cyclops looking fresh, and it looks like his old X Factor costume.
Ooh, classic white
the
cover.
Blank cover.
Blank.
Just get Tom King to sign on it. Draw Batman on it.
I think he'll do it. I think he would seriously do it.
Chip Zdarsky was signing Spider-Man Life Stories during Mitch Gerads and Tom King's signing at the booth.
Oh, wow.
Because they're friends.
Yeah.
That's a sweet Scotty Young right here. Oh, I know that art. You can't. That's a nice little shot here.
I do like the no humans allowed.
Yeah, Wolverine, like the little clubhouse. Yep.
Then,
here we got some.
These are very good.
Some Noto paints there.
Yeah.
The various costumes throughout the years. I've always loved the Iceman going down the fireman's pole.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's good. So, House of X, number 1, is one of 6. It's to be read alongside Powers of X.
Powers of 10.
Powers of 10. I've heard Hickman say it both ways now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with Cebulski. And who else?
I think it's like right away they were like Powers of 10 is what it is, and then
Yeah.
over time they're like, okay, everyone's gonna call it Powers
You
of
can,
X, so
you can
we'll
call it Powers of X,
too.
whatever. You know, either way,
It still means 10.
It still means 10. Anyways, yeah, this Hickman brings the fire, and this is more than attempt number like 5,487 of establishing a mutant nation.
Yeah.
This is a lot more than this. Really feels like it'll be something that'll stick around.
Yes.
You know, maybe in this arc with House and Powers, it'll like something crazy will happen with it, obviously.
Right.
But I feel like this is the starting of a new sovereign nation
Yeah.
for mutants.
It's I read the previews for it. I haven't quite cracked into the number one yet here.
Issue.
But I really, really enjoyed the House of X preview that was there. It had a kind of little creepy undertone to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
it's
of course it didn't reveal.
unsettling.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't reveal anything in that preview. But just like Xavier's all kind of very unsettling.
Yeah.
The whole it was always been kind of part of the confusion when it first came out. It's like why you have them in these various eras of costumes
Yep.
in various times.
And then
Like what's happening
And then
here?
this, you know, like
Yep.
this new. It's got to be a new look for.
Well, this new Xavier look here.
Yeah.
And then we got Jean back in her Marvel Girl costume.
Right. Yeah.
Wolverine's still rocking the brown. And then Cyclops is rocking a new version of his costume that's similar to the one he was wearing when he died.
Right,
It's
yep.
just blue instead of red. And then instead of that X visor, it's just the single visor there.
Yeah.
And then Magneto just strutting his stuff in white. So it's like it's always, I mean, yeah, I don't quite understand what's going on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's in the preview, it's like it shows like the kid who you meet right away, kind of walking through this
yeah.
area, and then like you see Wolverine like hanging and playing with little kids and stuff, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yep.
what's
Yeah,
okay?
it's-
I was already unsettled by Xavier creeping in the background.
Okay, so to talk a little about Xavier, he uses his powers to tell every single human on Earth while you were sleeping, the world changed.
Yeah.
You know, it's essentially saying the mutants are here now. We're establishing ourselves. Kicks off with them negotiating their sovereignty. You know, wanting to get their sovereignty recognized, and they have quite a bargaining chip that this new. I think I can say, you know, it's this new living island called Krakoa.
So okay, so that goes all the way back to
So maybe,
Giant Size X-Men #1.
Oh wow! So it's not new. Like Krakoa. Is,
No, Krakoa, it's a mutant
Yep.
island. In Giant Size X-Men #1, the one that introduces Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, all onto the team.
Yep.
Krakoa is the antagonist in that, and has the original class captive,
Oh okay.
and they are brought together to go there and save them. And eventually Krakoa, like in Jason Aaron's run, Krakoa is like living on the grounds of the Xavier Institute as just like he'll randomly like pop up, you know, just a little face, little hill face.
Okay.
But like so Krakoa is a
It's an established
established
thing.
thing,
It was a
yep.
new thing for me,
Yes,
not being
yeah,
a
'cause
huge
you're not an X-Men guy, yeah.
guy. I will say that, yeah, the unsettlingness of some of these long-term established characters, you have Magneto being, you know, his badass self.
Yeah.
Charles Xavier, though, it feels like a Charles Xavier that's ready to bend some rules. You
Yeah.
know, like his
He feels,
moral code.
He feels disconnected from
Yeah.
just. I mean, you can get that feeling from his costume alone. You
Yeah,
know, you look
he
at him
feels
just with
very-
the helmet covering his eyes
Yeah,
and
set
and
apart
the
from
darkness.
everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a lot of times it's in the preview even he was just kind of in the background, kind of creeping.
And I gotta say that the text pages that Hickman does
Yep.
in his like I remember Secret Warriors, he did that, and it just
It's
feels
call
like
sign.
reading the computer terminal and all these files, accessing these files. It's such a beautiful way
Yep.
to just shove a lot of information onto a page
Right.
and not make it feel like you're reading, you know,
An info dump.
yeah, an info dump or anything like that. You actually, it feels like it takes you out of wherever you're sitting, and you're hunched over a computer terminal, like clicking through,
Yep.
like,
Okay.
would you like to know more?
Yes.
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 But then it also has the weird effect of once you turn the page and it's not doing that anymore, you're just like, whoa, okay, into comic book reading mode.
Oh, gotta get back into it.
Yep,
All right,
yep.
here we go.
So, this is a very hefty
The big
issue.
one this week.
Hefty issue. You know, sit down. I could have sat and, like, if I taken my time and read it for maybe an hour.
Right.
You know, having to get ready for the show and everything, I kind of maybe had to breeze through a few pages
Right.
here and there. But there's so much to it. I just love just looking at all the art and trying to get a grasp on the characters, because they do have a lot of characters in this book,
Yep.
like so many X-Men
Oh yeah.
do.
It's the X-Men, man.
It's the X-Men. It's going to be a huge cast,
Pretty much everyone.
and everybody's going to be important in some way.
Right.
it feels
Which is something Hickman excels at. Is like taking a cast of people, like he's done it with Avengers, does it with Fantastic Four, and just make it feel like each member is fleshed out,
Yeah.
which is hard to do.
Right. I
In
mean,
this type of story, you know.
I've had some parts, some times in the current Avengers run where I'm just like, okay, is this person even, getting
Yep.
enough stage time?
Yep.
Is this person? And that's got to be a hard thing to juggle.
it's
But
the
I think
strength.
Hickman's doing it
Hickman
great.
does it well. Bendis
And
does it well
it's
too.
getting myself hyped even more for when
for,
Powers.
for something you've
Yeah,
never been into.
Yeah, and I mentioned this, or I should have mentioned that this is. I think I tweeted this out. This is the X-Men book to bring us into the 20s. Like,
Yeah.
that feels weird to say
Yeah.
that we're entering the
20s.
2020s,
The Roaring Twenties.
the roaring 20s, and this is going to be the X-Men book that kicks it off,
Yeah.
because it's going to run through.
It helps
till-
brings it back. And like we said before too, this is meant to be read, this and then Powers when it comes out next week, right?
Yep, yeah, it shows.
So it's House
it shows the
Powers.
reading issue, and I think it just
They're
it
not-
just leapfrogs each other. House Powers,
Right.
House Powers.
They're two separate stories, but they mirror each other in ways. And it also, especially with this book, with any Hickman book, you want to read it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it'll help you get it this week. You read it, take in as much as you can, maybe read it again. Then next week when you get Powers, make sure to read this again
Yeah.
if you want to. But I mean,
Or keep it handy so you could
so
like flip to a
back
page.
and forth. Powers looks real cool too. I saw in the preview for it. Nice like future tale of the end of the mutants.
All right, so that's our huge deal with Powers. I'll
It's the
go
big one.
show off the variants again here. So
Yeah, if you've never been an X-Men fan, give it a shot.
yeah, I've never really been into X-Men. All of the X-Men mainline comic books I've read probably count on one hand, and ones that aren't also tie-ins.
Right.
It's maybe 2 or 3. So.
Right, exactly. It used to be hard to get into X books because it was such an involved continuity.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s, almost every X book continuously crossed over with each other.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, okay. But now we're getting a nice breezy entry point. That was another thing that got announced this weekend at Comic-Con, were the line of books that are coming
Yeah.
after.
That are.
We got an X-Men book, X-Force, Marauders. We got New Mutants. A lot of books coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And, all right,
Edie boy.
on to we'll do Marvel first this week. It's Marvel's week, is what I'm gonna say. Even though
Okay.
DC's got
Hey.
some good books too.
Marvel did kind of win the con,
Yeah.
ish.
All right, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man, Spencer.
I love this cover because I love Superior Foes so much.
Yeah.
That was such a good book. Let's get a little bit of that. This is I read last issue and it was really good, so could only imagine what this one will bring.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Wade. Oh, hey, here's
What?
Fearless. Got quite the crew on this book.
Huh.
McGuire, Williams,
I did not
Thompson
know this book was
wrote.
coming. I feel bad.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a little thing for it, maybe like an ad or something online, and I was like, I wonder what that is. And then
Is it a new series or is it a compilation
new
of
series?
some?
It looks like it's kind of like a compilation. Fiercest Ladies of the Marvel Universe Unite. It looks like there's 3 different stories in here.
Okay.
You know, justify the was it $4.99 price tag?
$4.99, yeah.
Ooh, and Guardians fans, the
There
death
we
of Rocket.
Yeah.
Been talking about this since the end of the Avengers No Road Home.
Yep.
That took place before War of the Realms, before this current Guardians of the Galaxy. It says at the beginning of that limited series that this takes place much before the Guardians that had just come out.
Yeah.
And hints to Rocket knowing that he's not going to be long for this world, and
That's sad.
somehow it's
so sad. So sad. Donny Cates still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing his epic cosmic takeover by killing our furry little friend.
History of the Marvel Universe. I gotta pick this up.
There we go. It's always nice. Mark Waid knows what he's doing with these history things.
And this variant's really cool too.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
like show the old heads and the
Yeah.
and the new kids.
Just funny because Captain Marvel's definitely, well, it's so strange, I suppose. They're both old heads, but they're both Wade's right and strange. These are all characters he's worked on too, right? With those with the champions.
The champions, yeah.
Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Captain
Cool.
Marvel. Cool.
Yeah, Rich chiming in, saying hello. Hello, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
Well, we're not. We both looked to the computer camera and said, waved our hands and said hello.
But it's not on us.
But it's not on us. But it doesn't need to be on us anymore. But yeah, we're getting the show going. It's a late start, but I think that's fine since usually our time constraint is Rich got to go.
Yeah.
he's
now
at,
he's
at the
maxing
store all
and
day.
relaxing.
Yeah, maxing and relaxing, chilling all cool.
Post wedding.
Marvel Comics presents. It's another good. I think you can just, pick up any issue and give it a read. It's second printing on this one, so
Yep.
Ghost Rider story on there.
Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Deadpool. Always good.
All right, my pick of the week: Marvel's Epilogue. This looked into it a little bit. This is going to be a mutant story. Kind of follows up. Yeah, it's by Alex Ross, so it's following up his Amazing Marvels run.
And I forget who the writer was for it. Was there a writer?
I think it was just by Alex. He wrote and.
I know he did the art, but I swear there's somebody else. I swear. I could be wrong though. Anybody know?
I don't want to spoil it for myself. That was one shot Marvel Worldwide subsidiary. Come on.
Is it on the back?
No. Selena the White.
Cause that's I mean I could be wrong. Kurt Music. Yep.
Music.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
He writes Astro City.
Oh right.
Good book. So this is a new.
Yeah, this is brand new, and
Then it's set as the epilogue for their Marvel series.
yep, and specifically it's a mutant
You
storyline,
got Jean on the cover there.
which pretty important with all the X-Men stuff coming out.
Oh yeah. Well timed.
It's really great, and a lot of people like the mutant storyline in the original Marvels tugged
Yep.
at so many heartstrings.
Yeah.
Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
it was
Super
painful, and it was emotional.
Magic.
All right, we got Star Wars. It looks like a 690 to me, but it's 069.
It's issue 69.
Nice.
Rebels and Rogues, The Stranger. Got Luke looking mighty imposing.
Here we got one of our Agents of Atlas, Swordmaster #1.
Oh, interesting.
But hey, Shuzu and Greg Pak
Great packs with the guide in hand.
has been doing such a great job of getting these Asian market targeted comics. But definitely they're for anybody.
Well, yeah, they're for anybody. Obviously, it's just a sector that hasn't often been explored, and China and the area is becoming a bigger market. So, I mean, it only makes sense.
Oh, the first printing of that Marvel Comics Presents,
Yep.
it's the second printing. The first print of number 6 was the first appearance of
Wolverine's daughter.
Biological daughter.
Biological dollar.
It's going for nearly $100. The first
printing, not this one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. First appearances, it just kind of blows my mind that first appearances go for this much.
Speculator. It didn't used to even that long ago. Like when I was first started in the early 2000s, up till maybe 5 years. I don't know, 5-ish years ago. It wasn't that big a thing, and now it's just huge. Now it's all you hear about is that speculator market. It's crazy.
Iron Man number 14.
Boy Dan Slott, Jim Zub,
Keeping it going.
Brendan Sheedy.
I liked the Iron Man tie-in books in War of the Realms. It got me up to speed on what the previous arc was. He was in this kind of like virtual reality.
I think, was that written by Gail Simone?
Yeah.
Because I know she did some recent Iron Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Iron Man was Gail Simone, but I think it was calling back to the Slott run.
Oh yeah.
With him going off the wagon in virtual reality though, so it's
virtual
like
wagon.
Yeah, so it's like is it really still
right?
And then he also had to develop something that could let him drink, but it would stop him from going to excess or something like that.
Right.
It's a really interesting 2 issues for it being a tie-in.
Yeah,
like, right. And then the goofy dragon that's invading Wall Street. It's like the dragon wants all the gold that's at Wall Street. It's like
makes sense.
Yeah.
Dragons. There's another big one.
All right, Valkyrie, Jane Foster. She's having quite the week this week.
Back in the saddle after taking up the ultimate Mjolnir.
Yep.
Reforged.
War Thor, War Mjolnir.
Yep. Becoming Thor again for a minute.
It's become absorbed into her hand here.
Yep.
You can see that, and it can become any weapon at all. She also has access to the Valkyrie spear.
Yep.
Whatnot.
After our loss of was it Brunhilde, the previous Valkyrie, in War of Realms.
Yeah.
Number 1, I believe.
Yeah. So Rich saying that he just bought a 9.8 CGC of her first appearance.
Nice. Way to go,
as
Rich.
Thor for $70, and it went up to $300.
Jeez.
So yeah, I'm hoping my trading cards will do something similar, and I can retire off of them.
Yeah, right. I'm sure this issue will go pretty good too.
I did preview this. I gave it more of a quick breeze through. It's a shorter comic for being a first issue. It's still only $3.99 for a first issue, so that's affordable.
I enjoy this cover right here because I think it's the same person who did the cover for that first issue of the Jane Thor.
Okay.
Because it looks like, because the helmet's just done so similarly, and so it's kind of done in a similar fashion. I like it's kind of almost a callback. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, so Jason Aaron and Al Ewing with Cafu on art.
This makes a V too, which is cool.
Oh yeah. It's a great book born out of War of the Realms. I'm not too well, I've said this. I'm not too well read on Aaron's Jane Foster, but it's looking like a book that can introduce readers to taking on her triple duty of being hero, your real life doctor, and then also escorting the souls of the valiant dead to Valhalla. It's a really interesting character that's was previously Brunhilde, where it was kind of like this body swap sort of thing.
She was kind of Yep.
Where in War of the Realms, sadly, at the end of Asgardians of the Galaxy, she passes on to Valhalla. Well, needed some help getting there.
Yep.
And
pretty much all the Valkyries got toasted.
got destroyed. So fans of Aaron and Ewing should definitely check this out.
Yes.
And give it a go.
Both are great riders.
It seems like
Great
there's some deep moments in here, and then there's also kind of like this light-hearted,
Yeah.
Like,
don't forget, this is a superhero comic.
The whole world was on fire just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
and now we're trying to go back to life.
Picking up the pieces.
Yeah,
Yep.
so there's not so much picking up the pieces here, but there is, like remembering, it's a pretty traumatic event.
Right.
So
Cool.
cool book for this
Check
week.
that out.
Web of Venom Funeral Pyre.
Oh, here
Is
we
this
go.
a one shot?
Yep. Think so. Cullen Bunn, Raphael Albuquerque of American Vampire fame.
Oh, yep. And then special double size facsimile X-Men.
Yes. Phoenix Must
137.
Die. Good old Claremont era X-Men.
Yeah. And hey, if you're looking for something classic to go with your House of X this week,
Yeah.
that'd be great for you. All right, on to the DC Action Comics 1013.
Yep. Great
Wow.
Frank Quitely cover right
Yeah,
here.
Frank Whiteley.
Killing it.
Really got the texture. You can,
Oh yeah, dude, the facial textures, just oof. Yeah, continuing Bendis's great Superman run here.
and what's been more hot, the Action Comics or Bendis' Superman?
I'd say at first Superman, but now I think with Event Leviathan and the lead up to
Action,
it, it'll be Action. I'm not 100%,
Okay.
but that's what makes sense to me. I guess.
We got Batgirl 37.
Nice Oracle cover. Because now she's got a new villain that is Oracle. So that's kind of why it's on the Year of the Villain cover.
Mm-hmm.
Might have confused you, like, what's Oracle doing on a villain cover?
Yeah.
There's reasons.
There's reasons for all these things.
Yep.
All right, and then my
There we
preview.
go.
Oh, I was gonna leave this out of my preview because I thought maybe spoiler, but then I noticed this too. So
Oh, yeah. It's been part of the announcement.
Yeah, it's been
so you
announced.
should know.
Return of Azrael.
One of my favorite Batman family characters.
Yeah.
Just love
Batman
that
Curse of the
costume.
White Knight, #1. Sean Murphy and Matt Hollingsworth get the return to the Batman White Knight story. It's got a very gothic vibe to it at the beginning here. Spanning centuries of history, Jack Napier is now the Joker again. He's just looking to punish Batman. There's not a whole lot of depth to it. He's just,
Yep.
Crazy and
Let's
the
get
Joker
going.
again.
Yep.
Just kicking
Here
it
I am.
off with a bang. I think there's really, some really fun preview pages that also
Yeah.
kind of reference the, his pen trick.
Oh, yeah.
We get the introduction of a great 90s Batman character. Who could that be? Yep. Highly recommend reading White Knight. If you love this style, you want to see the Joker kind of good story, but you don't need to read White Knight in
Yep.
order to read this. This is
Just another story in that world. It's
yeah.
not contingent.
its own thing, and it kind of brings you up to speed on the important hits of the last book. Maybe not like the big reveal,
Right.
the big,
Right.
what was the overlying story,
Right.
but which is super good. So
This variant is just a beautiful cover.
yeah,
I love that
and then
cover so
then
much.
the art was on point the whole way through. I just
Yep.
really felt like it. He really brought this gothic type horror
Yep.
to it, and that's what I'm playing
Living
with
in
on
that Batman world.
it's got this heaviness,
Yep.
this kind of just flowing through. It's just like I feel like
yep,
the
just don't
smoke
wait.
just rolling in,
Yep.
just covering
The
whole
aura.
thing.
Aura of the bat.
So yeah, it's giving me goosebumps. Ooh. All right, Detective. 1008.
Tomasi back on it with Doug Monkey.
Hey, and look at this flash cover.
Oof.
Or not flash cover, freeze.
The freeze cover. That's
I keep
awesome.
misspeaking.
Who did this cover?
Oh, did we talk about Silver Surfer Black #2? I didn't read that. Did you?
No.
Rich, go ahead and fill up the chat with what you think about Silver Surfer Black #2.
It is.
I didn't read it, and I'm thinking I want to wait for the trade maybe, but then again, I also want to read them all. You know,
Block number 2 came out
last week. Yep.
Yep.
So Rich
That,
was just wondering if we.
This is Brian Hitch of currently got announced at just before Comic-Con that he's doing reuniting with his Authority friend Warren Ellis to do
yeah.
Batman, Graves of Batman or whatever.
Okay. Yep.
But that's him with Alex Sinclair, who frequently works with Jim Lee.
Nice. Yeah, and there's been a lot more free stuff being uncovered in the Batman universe.
Which I love me some Freeze. So.
Hey, we're on to your pick of the week.
Yep.
Flash
75. This is the final issue of the year. God, Francis Manapul cold cover too is amazing. This is the finale of the Flash Year 1 story. You get to finally see what goes. This final arc here is the past Barry and future Barry dealing with the Turtle. I love the Turtle.
The Turtle.
The Turtle, he's a great villain.
Okay.
Speed Man.
Oh.
Or he's Slow Man. Slow Man.
Slow Man. Yeah,
And now with the current thing, with their uncovering all the different forces, there's the Still Force, which is what he commands.
That's cool.
So the Turtle's been real central, so that's really cool. And again,
it only makes sense too. You know, if there's a Speed Force, there's got to be a Still Force.
Yeah. And Barry, the story leading up to right before Flash Year 1, he was trying to kind of understand and find a way to control all these new forces.
Okay.
Before we took this break into Flash Year 1, which is still going to play into this overall story. Joshua Williamson has written this since Rebirth started. It's been an underrated run, in my opinion. And after issue 85, he will be, or once we hit issue 86, he'll be the longest running Rebirth writer, because him and Tom King are the only two. And again, this Francis Manapul cover. Come on. How beautiful is that?
It's cool.
It's mine. I'm sorry.
Alright, Justice League Dark number 13, just the variant we have here.
Got Cersei on the cover. It's been an interesting ride in that series.
Alright, this Terrifics one, even if you're not reading the book.
This is Bizarro.
Bizarro.
This is a great cover.
I love me alternate type versions of Superman.
Yep.
You know, bad Superman.
Yep. Red Sun Superman.
Red Sun Superman.
Yep.
The Sentry's my favorite
Yep.
character, and he's
a Superman pastiche.
Yeah, Superman. That's got the duality to him or whatnot. Of course, Marvel.
Yep. Oh.
It has to be Marvel.
Hyperion is also Marvel. That's Superman. Got some Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman and variants. Is that Tigra? No.
Yeah, that's Cheetah. That's Cheetah right there. There's some fancy looking arts there. It's kind of dropped off the Wonder Woman, but it's good art.
Haven't heard a lot of buzz about it, but it looks like it's
Wonder
still
Woman,
a solid
man.
book.
It's Wonder Woman. It's pretty much. It's at least Wonder Woman.
I want to read some more of that Wonder Woman that's in Last Night on Earth.
Oh, yep.
That's so cool.
Yep.
So now on to the indie books. Dark Horse, Aliens Rescue.
Got Brian Wood writing duties.
Brian Wood, man, that's a name I feel like I haven't heard in a long time.
Yep.
I sit and I look at my DMZ trades and I'm just like, should I just read this whole thing again? And it's like, yes, but then also it's
I've got other things.
And I just spent all this money on comics. I should read those.
So I always set my trades aside for when I catch up on books, but that's hilarious because I'm never completely caught up. Once I do, then I can get behind again. So they just sit there patiently waiting for the day. We got some great covers here too. This one especially is really sweet.
Yeah.
It's not an easy world to envelop.
Yeah, to portray the alien stuff, Not everybody can do that. H.R. Geiger. That's what. Yeah.
One of the designers on it.
Of the word. All right, Bloodborne.
Alice
Video
Cott.
game fans.
Alice Cott on writing duties.
I haven't played the game, but the aesthetic, the style, the hack and slash,
steampunk spookies.
Steampunk spookies. It looks like it should lend itself very well to the medium.
For sure.
And yeah, it's already issue number 13. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
Curse words. Number 23.
Is this naughty?
Saying naughty words.
Our boy Charles Sewell. He got a book. Him and Scott Snyder had their new book announced. God, and I forgot the title. Not good.
Uh-oh.
But it's basically a world where the U.S. has been walled off and no one has been in there in a long time.
Yep.
It looks really interesting.
That's very. There's a lot of really cool stuff in indie books, and it's so hard to keep track of it all because it's maybe just the marketing from Marvel and DC
Right.
is always there.
Right.
We should
Omnipresent.
Yeah,
they have a
omnipresent.
budget to throw.
They have the budget to be constantly pushing ads at me saying showing the
And you got movies and you got
movies,
cartoons and you got all sorts of
trading
things.
cards.
Yeah.
I don't got curse words trading cards.
Yeah, right. Someday.
Dark Red number 5.
Tim Seeley.
People being like, "Ooh, it's too on the nose," but yeah, it's an indie book. It's not pulling any punches. That's for sure. I haven't read it, but the first issue definitely looked cool to me.
I can attest that Tim Seeley is a good writer. So
starting off in the Badlands of North Dakota, some vampire just wanting to get away from the big city life.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's not
Hits
often
close
that
to
North
home.
Dakota is referenced in media, so
No.
why not just pick it up for the?
Yeah, for the hometowners.
It is a pretty gory and highly mature book.
Yes. Don't be like, hey, little kid.
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. What's this issue number? 41 out of Boom
41.
Studio.
This is a great series.
So cool. I love the covers when they do this.
Covers are great. I am not current. I read up to the first part of the Shattered Grid event that happened not too long ago. That was really sweet. It had a live action trailer for it with Jason David Frank reprising his role as Tommy Oliver, as the Dark Lord Drakon. It's cool stuff. They're doing new stuff with it now. They fill you in the original TV show. The part of the original team had to leave, and they said they were going on some like school thing or whatever. Turns out, you find out in this that it's a secret mission that they're on.
Oh.
So we get some cool little
That's a great
digging
way
into
to-
the continuity of
Yeah.
the actual TV show and giving us something new with it. So
That's definitely cool. And looks like Star Pig number 1, Delilah S. Thompson, Gaston on art.
interesting.
Definitely,
I like the cover.
interesting. It's tardigrade. It was what do they call it? A water bear or something like that. It can
Yep, the things that can survive in space.
survive in anything.
Yeah.
And I just flipped it open, and the art.
Is that the Star Pig?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know anything about this book, and this once again shakes fist at ourselves for we don't know the indie books, but
We have so much on our plate.
yeah, definitely. If you talk to Colin or Darren here at the store, they know so much of what's
Yes.
going on in the indie book world. They'll always have something cool and new to recommend, something fresh for
Yep.
anybody's taste. Because
Yep.
that's the thing with indie books is that they expand more than just
It's
the
not- yeah,
superheroes.
yeah.
And it's not
Exactly.
just drama, and it's not just horror. It's not just one thing or other.
It can be anything. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. But you definitely get a lot of your psychological stuff in
Oh, yeah.
indie books.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's
And
the big
when you
thing.
get a lot of times when you get good superhero books, it's because you got those indie guys who
Because-
started in
yeah,
the indies,
yeah.
bringing in that stuff
Being like,
into
let's bring
superhero
that,
books.
that indie kind of feel to it.
Kissy, more tales of mischief.
Yep. Now we're on to our trade paperbacks.
It's a
We
cute looking book.
don't have all of our new ones, of course. Black
I
Panther.
like that guy right there.
Yeah. Black Panther Volume 7 is our trade paperback pick of the week, but we don't have it currently up here, but we do have it in stores. So.
Red Panda Moonbear. All these younger readers books
All
have
ages.
great colors and art design on
they,
them. I
they
love
really know how to.
both these covers so far have been great.
And a lot of the all ages young reader stuff is Darren.
Yep.
His curation, and he's
a
got
smart man.
He's got a great eye for that.
Yep. Sword of Conan.
Savage
Cult
Sword
of
Conan.
Kogathun.
Yeah, so when I was reading the Conan books, they're Jason Aaron did his, and then
Yep.
Duggan.
Yep. Jerry Duggan.
Jerry Duggan with Savage Sword. Savage Sword was originally magazine sized,
Yep.
and black and white.
Mhm.
This, they go back to normal comic book size, full color, and the differences between the two, the Jason Aaron Conan run, you can just pick up any issue and
Yep.
it's like a one shot, kind of like how the old serials used to
Yep.
be.
Yep.
The Savage Sword is a continuing story.
Right.
It was really hot for the Alex Ross covers, what you see here.
Yep. Oof.
It's so cool. But it was a very, the last page of each issue leads to the next page of the next issue. Whereas, and then there's still a payoff in the Jason Aaron Conan run where there is a little bit of a red thread.
Yeah,
tied
where
between
his
all
is
the
like they're
stories.
single stories, but they're connected by something.
Yeah.
There's a connective tissue.
Yeah.
Where this is more straight up. This is one big story kind of
Yeah.
situation.
And
Got a House of Mystery.
the House of Whispers.
Whispers. Oh, wrong one.
So yeah, Volume 1.
Neil Gaiman with his Sandman universe
the
books.
Sandman universe. So I don't think he wrote this specifically. It was
Oversaw. Maybe
Oversaw.
maybe had a story idea and then they fleshed it out or
Yep.
something.
I read The Dreaming, and man, thinking back to when I read Dark Knight's Metal,
Yeah.
and the fact that
You get to see Dream in there?
Dream was in there, and then it just makes so much sense with all the chaos that happened in the Sandman universe. And if the source wall is punctured,
Yeah.
it just makes so much sense.
makes it- makes it
this
difficult for
kind of
everybody.
like the Eternals, and yeah, that's what they're called, the Endless, the Endless.
Yep.
So, if you're looking for some callbacks to the great Neil Gaiman books, Sandman universe, you
Always
can give it a-
magical and
give it a try.
fantastical with a little dash of spooky. Just
So,
a dash.
we'll just
Not much, just a dash.
then
More
again,
of
I reread some Sandman, and I totally forgot how much horror there was in
Oh,
that
yeah.
book. It just kind of blew me away. I'm like, wow, I don't remember it being that spooky, where
Right.
it's like, I'm leaving the light on. I don't want to go to sleep.
Right. That's what's
All
happening.
right.
I don't want to go into the dreams. I want to go in the dreams.
The sun is busting through.
It is.
We went a bit late, but that's because we also started late, so it all kind of balances itself out. House of X,
Come on, get it.
a
Man.
billion thumbs up.
Yeah.
X thumbs up.
X out of X.
This is issue number X of the Paradox
X gonna give
Comic
it
Show.
to you.
I hope everybody loved tuning in. I hope you saw maybe a book or two beyond just House of, because you want this.
I mean,
book.
obviously,
Face it, yeah.
this is.
This
We
is-
don't have to.
the book we're
We don't have to
pushing
tell you.
hard this week. But
Yeah,
hope
X-Men.
something else caught your eye as well. This was Eric Broadshow. His first time on the comic show. He's
Good to be
been
here.
on the podcast.
We did
a few
the.
times.
Yep.
And I've been Brandon Ross, and we'll see you next week. And if you're in the store, just say hi and
Yeah.
mention how much you love the show.
Yep.
So
I'll
have
be
a good
there.
one.